Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I was watching the Den of Tools channel and he had some inside information about an upcoming sale on Icon pliers at Harbor Freight in April. And I thought I should do a buyer's guide on the Harbor Freight Icon pliers. The sale actually is 35% off according to the flyer on any Icon plier, and I have all of the Icon pliers here except the snap ring pliers and the ones I'm calling Swedish pipe wrench pliers. But I've got all the others. There are 17 different ones available at the time of this filming. And I also wanted to give it some shelf life because unfortunately at the 35% off, get whatever you don't have. The deals are too good, and this is the only one I'd really hesitate on, and the 35% off drops it down into where I was going to send you anyway. So to give it also more shelf life, you can use this information, or my opinion, whatever, if they aren't on sale. So let's jump into it. I'll go through each of these 17 pretty quick. I'm going to give you, if I can, the retail price, the maximum Harbor Freight price, as well as what it will be on sale. So what I've got here is the 8-inch hose grip plier, and normally I'd say don't bother with this one. The retail price on this guy is only 20 bucks, which means it will be $13. 13 bucks puts it down into the cheap ones on Amazon, so then it's worth it. But the two things that are behind my saying don't bother with this. One is you often need different sizes, not just one size, and you can buy them in sets really inexpensively. In fact, you can buy them at Harbor Freight in the Pittsburgh line too. The other thing is that it's a limited use tool. I've found a couple other uses for this, but generally, pulling hoses off of things, if that's really what you encounter. Some people have said they used them for spark plugs, I think maybe on a chainsaw or a lawnmower, but in those cases, you don't need a pair of pliers like this. So if you think you might need a pair, this is a high quality pair. 13 bucks, probably worth it, but otherwise this is one that I don't think is all that great. So next one. How about this? This is the twin grip, or that's what I'm calling it. Looks just like the Knipex version. Normally this sells for about 25 bucks, and I would say, I don't know, why don't you go with the real German one? It's not that much more, maybe 5 bucks more. But on sale, this twin grip is going to be $16.25, which definitely puts it into the sure. Yeah, it's a great plier. I think the Icon pliers, for copying other designs, they do a very good job of it, but I do like the twin grip a little bit more. But for 16 bucks, yeah, it's probably worth it. This I'm going to call this the channel lock. Normally this isn't all this great. It's a common design. I think there are much better designs out there, but it's an inexpensive design. So if you are after something like this, 22 bucks is what the retail value is. It's a 9-inch long version. Obviously there are tons of sizes from about 4 inches to, measured in feet. But $14.30, if you honestly don't have one of these, this is a quality version if you don't have a channel lock. So, on sale, yeah. If it's not on sale, I would keep looking and probably get one of the more modern ones. This guy here. Now, this is a copy, essentially, of the Snap-on. And that doesn't mean it's good. This is actually kind of an expensive tool. This wire stripper is the 9-inch version. It sells for $33. On sale, it'll be $21.45. I'm not a big fan of this design. It is very handy, but it's quite big, and even though they got the lock better than the Gen 1 version of the Snap-on, it's still a big plier, spring-loaded, but it does have that nice grabbing set of teeth right up front, and it strips well. So if you honestly don't have a stripper, this is a good one. And I would say on sale, yeah, definitely get something like this, because for $21 you're not going to get close, and Snap-ons is probably about 4 or 5 times that. Okay, how about this guy? This is the slip joint needle nose. It sells for $30. Now, some of these prices I've noticed when I looked them up were way more than what I paid when I first got these when they came out. Honestly, I thought these were like 20 or maybe a little over. But anyway, they're going to be back at 20, actually $19.50. Get them? Absolutely. I don't think you can have too many of these. I keep them in all my vehicles, both Snap-on and Icon, and get them anyway, because they're sometimes hard to find, especially if you live in, apparently from reading comments, a big city, and that city, has a lot of Icon fans. So you may not have the access that I do out in the middle of nowhere. Actually, I've got several choices depending on what town I go to. But anyway, definitely get these, especially at the $19.50 mark. Here's the other wire stripper. This is a little tiny 7-inch wire stripper. It's again a fairly good copy of the Snap-on. I do like this. It is I guess an under pivot stripper, so maybe a little bit more sometimes for cars than for electricians. But how much is this guy? It's $30, which is a lot. Excuse me, it's 35. Let's see, where is it? This is a 7-inch wire stripper. So it's $30, $19.50. If you really want one of these, well, yeah, there it is. It's $19. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. In fact, it seems like the price on this and some of the other cutting tools really has gone up. So I'm not sure. Maybe there's something going on that I haven't figured out yet. But is it worth it? For $19, $19.50, yeah. Is it worth it for more than that if you've got a specific use, not just in case plier? Okay, what about this? This is their regular old needle nose. Sells for about $20, which is already a pretty good deal. It's kind of a copy of the Snap-on Talon grip. It means it's pretty beefy up here, and you can see the crosshatch pattern right in there, but smooth down here. This thing is at $20, I think is a good plier. These are very handy. Doesn't have any other activity going on. No bolt grabbing, wire stripping, other stuff that we stick into needle nose pliers. Instead, this guy's going to be $13. So get it. Actually, you probably can't, because I bet they'll sell out right away on this one. It's just so inexpensive. That's getting into some of the really cheap, unnamed stuff on Amazon. And here you're getting a lifetime warranty on an Icon tool. So definitely grab one of those. This one is a little bit more special purpose. This is what they're actually calling the Parrot, and that's a name that is used for this. Knipex makes a version like this. It's not terribly expensive, but again, a little bit more of a special tool if you really want to grab high leverage with larger bolts or fasteners, nuts, because it doesn't get very small. It's not a precision instrument, but it is incredibly strong. And there are certain applications, especially in automotive, where this really comes in handy. This is going to sell, the Parrot, they're calling it, 10-inch Parrot, for also $13, because it's only a $20 tool off the shelf. $20, I put it in the only if you need it. And if you need it, you know it. But for $13, yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's probably worth having around. So the Parrot, definitely. Oh man, this one. This is one of my favorite Icon tools. This is the 11-inch high leverage diagonal cutter. This guy here sells for $33. So it's a expensive Icon tool, but to me, worth it at $33. And $21.45 will be the sale price. Absolutely. And this is also one that I often see sold out. So definitely get one of these. If you are looking for a smaller diagonal, this is the 7-inch one. This costs $22 maximum Harbor Freight price, so it'll be about $14.30, which is really good for this quality. In Snap-on, you're going to get up into the 60s, 70s, 80s, depending on which one. And this feels a lot like a Snap-on, so I don't have any hesitation recommending this, especially at that crazy low price. That even at $22, to me, it's worth it. And the lifetime warranty, especially on any kind of cutting tools, is really valuable. What do we got here? Standard slip joint plier. Okay, this thing here, nothing too exciting about it. A standard slip joint. You can get these really inexpensively on Amazon too. Even Snap-ons, unless you go really large, they don't even break $50. It's a pretty basic tool. Maximum Harbor Freight price on this is $22. Normally I'd say, you know, yeah, it's a good one. It's a copy of the Snap-on, you know, the triple joint, which I do really like, but it's, you know, only if you really need it. But at the sale price, remember this is $22 full price, the sale is going to be $14.30. Definitely worth it there because it is a very high quality slip joint plier, kind of a classic design, but with, you know, a little extra bite. So I would recommend it. No matter what, if you need a good slip joint plier, and certainly at its sale price. This one, I'm a little torn on this. This is what, it's a plier wrench. And a plier wrench, there's a lot going on here. Knipex makes really good ones, I think the best. This one is actually the most expensive tool on the list, and it's $40. Now, by the way, I'm rounding up. Every one of these, if I say $40, it's actually $39.99, but a lot of places aren't using pennies anymore, so if it's cash, they round up, so I don't know why we're still using the 99. But anyway, the sale price on this is $26, and if you don't have one of these, absolutely at $26. It's a great design. It is different than a lot of pliers. One is, even though you've got these two jaws, they remain parallel throughout the compression. Whereas, you know, most other pliers here, they change the angle. And especially even these, which is one of the reasons why it's kind of an old design. That angle changes, so it is something where you need a little bit more of a precise bite. But the real winner here is this leverage here. By just aligning it, now you don't have the full range of motion, you know, always, but you can see that that amount of leverage is tremendous. You're talking about that little nub there versus this entire handle. So once you use these things, you don't go back. They're incredible. Now my argument might be, do you want this or a kind of an old school adjustable wrench? You definitely need both, but for a lot of stuff, this is great. I still like the adjustable wrench because I can operate it blindly with one hand. Some people are saying, oh yeah, you can operate these with one hand. Well, yeah, look at how I'm doing it. Show me how you do it. But anyway, it's great. And then the price will be $26. Definitely worth it. It looks like it's got some kind of a chrome finish that will hopefully prevent some sort of corrosion later. You can get Knipex ones like that. Let's see what else. Let's jump in. I'm going to put both of these together. These are the 11-inch needle nose pliers, and there's a 45-degree bend and straight. Now these are $22 a piece. Normally I'd say, you know, I'm glad Icon's making a higher quality version of these, but I've done videos where you can get really inexpensive ones. It's not a powerful tool. You know, you're not doing something that requires, you know, a huge amount of strength, you know, even if you have springy handles. But you do want, you know, a good quality as far as the bite. It's got to match up. And that's where Icon does deliver on these. Now, normally these would sell for about $22. That means they're $14.30 each. So if you don't have anything, definitely, because you can get a pair on Amazon for $10 or less, or a set of 2, 3, or even 4 different kinds, because they have kind of a duckbill one that they often toss into the set. And then sometimes you can even get those hose grabbing pliers in this length too. But for that price, yeah, if you want a good quality one, great. If you don't think you're going to use it much, you know, don't buy it unless it's on sale, I think, because it is kind of a lower use tool, but it's pretty nice. And you can also get a Pittsburgh version, save some money. So let's see, did I do all of those guys? Oh, nope, I missed a few. Here's one. Now this thing, when it first came out, I did some tests and I found that it actually worked better than the Snap-on. What is it? It's the flush cut. It's a beautiful copy of the Snap-on, and they work great. And I actually dug out the digital microscope and compared it, and it looked like this was cutting even more flush than the Snap-on, but both of them were human finger perception. Now this one, though, unfortunately is an expensive tool, and it's another one that seemed to have gone way up. since I first got it. This sells for 35 bucks now at Harbor Freight, maximum price, but on sale it'll be $22.75, which to me, you know, it's a great tool no matter what. $35 puts it in line with some other really good Japanese quality ones, because there are a lot of different ways to approach this in a true flush cut that you do not want to cut anything but, you know, small soft aluminum or copper wire and plastics. But it does have a lifetime warranty, so there's that. Anyway, so if you're getting this for $22.75, absolutely worth it. I think it's a great plier. I love this thing. I'm just surprised it's 35 bucks now. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, there's that guy. Okay, let's do these two together. These are the pistol grip kind of needle nose pliers. These are both $22 each, maximum Harbor Freight price. So then they'll both be $14.30, if you can believe that. Are they good? They are great. I've done comparisons with the Snap-on. Snap-ons are expensive. I think they're pushing $100 now. And are these worth it? Well, if you have a need for it, absolutely. But these are kind of one of those that you don't know how much you're going to use it until you actually have a pair. And it's, you know, maybe 22 bucks. Is that worth it if you don't know? Well, $14.30, just get them and then start playing around with them. And you'll see that they do come in handy. It's often that you can get by with something else. This just makes it a little bit nicer, get your hand out of the way. Sometimes lining things up, you know, especially if you're using a flashlight or something, it really makes a difference. So definitely, if you're curious, you're wondering, you look at them every time you go into Harbor Freight, just go ahead and get them at that $14.30 price, and move on. Start using them. So, got all those, got those, that, this one, definitely grab that. Yep, I think I got them all. So there they are. These are the 17 Harbor Freight Icon pliers that don't include the snap ring pliers or the Swedish pipe wrench pliers, but if Den of Tools is correct, this will all be on sale for 35% off. Unless there's a price increase right before the sale, get them all, seriously. If they're not on sale, well, then watch the video again and take notes. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've got a difference of opinion, and certainly get in line early. And with that, Doc out.